Proxy Table Gaming, PTG, Lucky Sixes and Hyper G with round 2 of tech.
Howdy ho, folks.
Yeah, round 2. Let's do it.
Yeah, round 2. So, middle-ish starts for us.
Yeah, mid to low. Yeah. No, could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be worse. So, solid.
But this one...
This one, ID. Yes, I've got ID. You've just played ID. I've now got to play ID myself.
ID. Double ID.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So, Dawn Assault and Spoils the War now.
Yeah, man.
I quite like both of those, actually. Probably two of my favourites.
I must admit, I never use the Dawn Assault extra bit of keeping things in reserve.
No, I don't tend to.
It's an interesting one to actually think about. I never think about it in this building.
Yeah.
Something to potentially have a look at. I don't know.
Yeah. See whether it would work more. Or to have a unit that might benefit from that deployment.
Yeah. Answers on a postcard, folks. Does anything benefit from Dawn Assault?
Yeah, what's your best unit?
Ever used the secondary part of Dawn Assault, it being in keeping things in reserve?
I mean, I get the risk of doing it with a scoring unit is if they come in later than turn 4, they're not scoring anymore. So yeah, it's a good one for the comment section.
Yeah, very interested in that.
So Joe Parmenter, played him a few times. I think I am 2-1 up against Joe. And so yeah, looking to continue our duels. He's Infernal Dwarfs, back to Infernals. I first played him with Infernals, actually. He's got Prophet General, Prophet Asheruk, Wizard Master Pyro, and Talisman of the Void. Lamassu Scholar with the Book of Arcane Mastery. That Lamassu has got the rule where you either choose between giving them an extra Veil token or giving them an extra spell at the start of the battle.
Okay.
I'd be interested to know what people's opinions of what the best choice is as an opponent of that. I gave him an extra spell because I figured he'd already got Wizard Master with Pyro.
Oh, so your opponent...
Yeah, I chose whether or not he had a Veil token or a spell.
I see.
I didn't want him having an extra Veil token.
No.
It's an extra 2 power dice over the course of 6 rounds. And I figure if he's got an extra spell, well, he's still got to use dice to cast it.
Yep.
So I gave him an extra spell. But I'd be interested in other people's opinions on what is the best choice as an opponent.
That's what I'd do. I'd definitely go for the spell.
The spell, yeah, exactly. I want to see as the battle goes on whether he actually casts the spell that he chose as well. I can't remember which one he was. Might come back to memory. The Vizier BSB, Laser Protection, and Mask of Ages. I didn't have a clue what either of those did. Still don't, actually. I know that he was doing various things in the battle, but what gives what? Not a clue.
Fair enough.
I wasn't lying in my 1-minute battle list review. I don't know what ID does still. 25 Citadel Guard with Pistol and Spears, Flaming Standard. 17 Citadel Guard with Flintlock Axe. 21 Shackled Slaves with Shield. I don't think they really could do a lot in this battle. They didn't have a lot of shooting. They give soft cover to a unit or something. Something like that. He's got 1 each of the Disciples of Luger and Immortals, both units, basically.
Yeah, very cool.
Which is pretty cool. The Luger have got a Rending Banner, full command, and paired weapons. And the Immortals with spears. I wasn't massively afraid of either unit because neither of them were high strength.
Sure, yeah.
And I mean, the Immortals had a bit of AP, but they're only strength 4. So I wasn't too scared of either of those, despite their reputation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Kadeem Chariot with paired weapons, Infernal Artillery. The Kadeem Chariot just has tons of really good stats, like strength 5, res 5, really good armor, protection against flaming, all sorts.
Okay.
Or at least so it's themed.
Yeah.
Infernal Artillery Naphtha Thrower, so that's a flame thrower, basically. 2 bolt throwers and 2 giants. And those giants come with infernal armor. So my skinks are not looking at them for an easy target this time
Yeah,
around.
lots of armor and stuff.
Yeah.
I suppose, going back to the Kadeem Chariot, most chariots have strength 5, toughness 5.
Yeah, it's only elves that don't have res 5.
Only Proxy elves.
Exactly, yeah.
What's the armor?
No, it's true.
Is it 3 up?
I think it's 3 up or 2 up, something like that.
Yeah, if it's 2 up, that's good. But 3 up's normal. really, for most chariots, isn't it?
No, you're right. You're right. Obviously, the flaming protection meant that my Quicksilver was no good against it.
For sure,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, there's my Saurian list. Won't be mentioning it much because this is round 2, so check them out. And here we go. Some pickies. Here they come. So Spoils of War out, ready to grab. Got 2 blocks of core Saurians on the left-hand side of the Temple Guard. Salamander, one behind the other. Taurosaur is giving his 5 Aegis. The Ramphion's standing behind them. For once, I did deploy the Stygiusaur within 6 inches of the Aegis, but it isn't standing where it should be because of the ruins.
Sure, yeah.
So he is within 6 inches, but he doesn't look it.
Yep.
A core Saurian on the right-hand side to see if I can challenge that objective. And the Chameleons are basically just thinking, we can't get through the Giants on the other side because they're 3-up armor. So I'll get round this side and try and kill a bolt thrower and then see how far we can get.
Yeah, man.
My issue is looking at Joe's deployment, that thing at the back on the hill is his flame cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And flamethrowers hit on a 2-up.
Yeah.
Whether you're Chameleons or not.
Yeah.
So don't get Chameleons within 24 inches of that because they're just incinerated. So, to some extent, Giants on one side that I can't touch and Flamethrower guarding half of the other side. Probably not the battle for the Chameleons.
No, absolutely not.
So his deployment. So yeah, there was the Giant, and he's actually moved now, but I'll go through it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Boltfer on the left. You got the vassal, the slaves behind the the slaves are behind the pistol and spear Citadel Guard. The Lamassu is the big birdie. Beautiful model, actually. Behind the chariot. And then you've got the Immortals are on the left and the Luger are on the right. And then the Flintlock Axes are the unit that's moved slightly further forward in front of the Boltfer.
So from his point of view, this is something that I sort of don't know so well, I guess you would say. The flame cannon is slightly on the hill so it can see everything on the hill, but it's half off so that it can get cover. Is that right?
Actually, I need to mention that because he is actually on the wrong base, that model. Right. He actually looks bigger than he should be. He's on a smaller base, and the centre of the smaller base is fully on the hill.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing.
So
there's no cover.
He's actually on the hill. There's no cover.
Right. So in this regard, it's not the case. But let's say that was the right base, and is that right in that they would be able to see everything if more than half of their base is off it, because they're on the hill, right? But they would get cover. Because more than half of the film. Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to tap out on
another one for the masses.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's something that I'm a bit sketchy on, if I'm honest, and want to know a bit more about, especially with like some of my armies, like bolt throwers and things I haven't access to. It's something I've never done.
I think once you're on the hill, you don't get cover from it.
See, I've got a sneaky feeling if you're on it, no matter what, you get, you can see, your class is on it and you can see everything. However, you wouldn't benefit from the charge, rerolls charge, unless you're half on it. And also, however, I think if you're half off it and something's the other side of the hill, so say your Temple Guard were a shooting unit, they would get soft cover or some sort of cover from it. I'd probably say soft. So that's my inkling. But am I wrong, folks, or am I spot on with that?
Yeah. Well, certainly in this battle, my skinks are not going near it to see about that soft cover.
Well, that's actually what I was asking. I was like, if that is the case, why has he done that? Why hasn't he got closer? Because there's no shooting. It's going to be shooting, so he's not benefiting from any sort of cover. Because it doesn't matter. So why doesn't he go to the top of the hill? And be closer for a bigger threat range?
Definitely
that would be my question as to why that. So that's
yeah. And also, I actually dropped for second turn, knowing that a lot of his shooting wasn't in range, or would have to move in order to get in range.
Sure.
So I'm giving him first turn to not maximise his range as well.
Okay.
Over here, the Giants are moving out, and that is an issue. I need to work hard to not let them get in my flank, but at the same time, I kind of think it's inevitable. So I haven't got a lot of magic over there. I haven't even got dinosaurs to cast my battle spells through.
Yeah, sure.
and Infernal Armor means he's got flaming protection on them as well.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Bit of a predicament.
Indeed. This bolt thrower does not do 3 wounds. It does 3 oil blobs, which gives him flammable. So my monster is now flammable, which counts against shooting as well.
So is this the bolt thrower shot
this
it?
Is oil, yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure the bolt thrower shot it?
Yeah, no, this is definitely the bolt thrower.
Okay.
It's shooting blobs of oil, basically. It's strength 1, but for every hit, I get an oil token.
Okay.
And it does 3 shots, so it hit. Well, it looks like it hit a lot. I don't know how many shots it gets.
Okay.
But yeah, I was kind of just rolling with it, like what Joe said, and yeah, just got loads of oil all over me.
Okay.
Basically, cool. And it means that he's flammable.
Yeah, and it's something about for other shooting. It counts as rerolls, isn't it, or something like that, or +1 AP. I want to say
something like that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool.
But that's what I mean. I was really got a little bit sparked out by it, really.
Sure.
My move is to sort of shift ever so slightly to face the left a bit to stop the giants getting an easy flank, but very much to stand off at this time because I don't need to get anywhere near you at the moment. I'm being patient with the spoils, and I want to make sure that if my Temple Guard do go forwards, they're not going to get flanked by that spear Citadel Guard unit. Because I actually think my Temple Guard can take on the Luger and/or the Immortals.
Yeah.
1-on-1. Maybe even both of them into my front. I think I can take because they're only strength 4 AP. Well, AP 2 on the Immortals. But I think with magic I can take on one or both of them in the front. But what I can't take is a chariot and a spear unit coming into the flank as well.
Sure.
So I'm biding my time there. Over on this flank, my Styge and my Chameleons move into the flank. My Ramphadons are going the long way around because they are similarly affected by the flamethrower hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
Because
what's the range of it?
Target, only 24.
Okay.
But I'm kind of a bit traffic jammed by my own units moving forward as well. I need to kill the bolt thrower and then get my Chameleons out of there. Yeah. I'm hoping they kill the bolt thrower quickly, and then my Chameleons go and party in the pool again.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, and I needed to get the Stygiusaur out of line of sight of Flintlock axes because they don't have. If they move, they'll have suffer -1 to hit on it. Really, because the Styge is obviously a bit vulnerable away from the fiber pages of the engine. So
of course, yeah.
Yeah, over here, my Chameleons don't really do the job. Only doing 2 wounds with 28 shots. You know, you're kind of hoping you're getting 5 poison off of 28 shots, 4 and a bit. And yeah, only doing 2 is a bit disappointing. That's like half what you think you should do on a bad day. Especially as like, yeah, I suppose he has got cover though. So, you know, I was hitting on 7s. But I suppose I shouldn't be too harsh there. Quicksilver Lash. Why did I do that? Oh, no, I think I had the last 1 dice left at the end of my magic phase and did killed an immortal with a Quicksilver Lash.
Happy days.
You know, as you do. But I don't think I do anything else in magic. I get a low magic roll, and he dispels everything that I try and cast.
Yeah.
Over here, he moves his giants up. Is this still? Yeah, no, this is his turn movement, I think. Yeah, he's moving his giants up a bit more. And in the middle, he moves up ever so slightly, a bit more tentatively this time. So very much getting ready to claim the objective, but not quite on it yet.
Turns around.
And yeah, turns to shoot the Styge, basically, with his flintlocks, which is fine. Goes mental on the salamander. I let Pyroclastic Flow go, hoping that AP0, my salamander's got a chance with a 4-up armor save. He's wounding on 4s, 4 more up armor, and 5 up Aegis. But turns out that he gets a fire. I don't think he did many wins with the Pyroclastic Flow, so I let the fireball go. And yeah, that's it. The Pyroclastic Flow doesn't do anything. Blaze does 1.
Yep. Because it's actually strength 6. It's not what
Yeah.
that is here.
And then he one dice his fireball, so I let it go, and between that and the second blaze, he goes down.
Fair enough.
I might have been able to keep him alive, but basically I'm just stopping his other magic by letting that happen.
Yeah, you'll take a magic phase for a salamander.
Exactly, yeah. And he also gets through Curse of which puts another one of these flipping oil tokens on. And, I don't know, you still don't know what they do.
Incendiary marker.
Yeah, and then, that. Yeah. Does a wound with his shooting on my Sidge. Gets another incendiary blob on my Saurian unit over there with the bolt thrower.
Sure.
And the bolt thrower then actually shoots him and does D3 wounds, and
nice.
With the normal bolt thrower, does 3 wounds on the Stitch, which is a bit annoying. Over here into my turn, so my turn 2 now. Yep. I move behind the hill because I think, well, you can't see me.
Yeah, and he has to get proper close. Then.
I mean, it does mean he can now get round the flank with definitely 1 giant. Because I wasn't quite able to swift reform and move back off the hill.
Yeah,
I had to move a certain angle in order to get off the hill. So yeah. In the middle, I'm still being patient. Waiting for my time. I do creep forward a little bit though, knowing that I have got the movement advantage, believe it or not, against dwarves.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have picked up the.
No, he didn't go to take it, and I'm aware it takes a turn. You've got to get on it and then pick it up the next turn.
Yeah.
So I know he can't pick it up until turn 4. So I've still got time on my side here. Over on this flank, this Saurian block of core is very much waiting until I've cleared the bolt thrower and that unit of flintlocks.
Yeah. Before
it goes for the objective. I've got to make my move onto it in turn 5 in order to get it.
Yep.
This is only my turn 2. I'm not in a rush. Sigisaur moves back towards the Taurosaur and healing waters, which is where I'm planning on getting some wound backs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hoping to survive this last turn where he's vulnerable. Ramphadons continue to move around, and the Chameleons are geeing up for a second go at the bolt thrower, but very much staying 24 inches away from the flamethrower. Annoyingly, I only get 1 wound on the bolt thrower, so this was supposed to be a quick in-out job. And it's turning into a bit of an effort.
Did you need, as a thing, did you need to move?
I don't have, yes, well, no.
Would that have helped?
Good point. I'm not quick to fire, so maybe that would have helped.
Because that takes you from 6s to 7s, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. I could have hit on 6s with, no, it would have been, no, sorry, I did need to move. No, if I hadn't have, I think I'm hitting on 7s now because of cover.
So you hit on 4s normally?
4s normally. Move and long range means I'm hitting on 6s. Cover means I'm hitting on 7s. So if I hadn't have moved, I would have hit on 6s. Yeah, you're right.
And poisoned him, right? Because you don't get poisoned on 7s.
You do.
You do?
Still get poison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, then you get poison on 7s.
Then you're well unlucky. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I should have still not moved and hit on 7s.
Yeah, sure.
6s. I would have hit on 6s with not moving. Yeah, anyway. Right. Healing Waters does indeed heal a Sigisaur wound, which is great. So he's not giving up half points now, Stitch. And Word of Iron, I get a non-boosted Word of Iron on that Saurian block, just in case his spears make a long charge into me. So I'm 3 up armor with them. And I think that's just how it looks at the end of my turn 2. Oh no, it isn't. It's his turn 3 movement. He's moved the Immortals on to the marker, and he kind of crept nearer with both as well. Really, I'm really close now with my units.
Yeah.
If I do want to go for that, and Joe moved them forward very uncaringly as well. He obviously has a lot of faith in his Immortals and his Luger, which is kind of fine. I don't disagree with that necessarily, but it was very. I don't care if you charge me.
Yeah, very aggro.
Yeah. I think the spears possibly failed a long charge on my Saurian block.
Okay.
Or maybe they just moved up quite aggressively as well.
Sure.
But I'm not charging his spears because they would attack before me because of spears.
Yeah.
If he charges me, I attack before him. So it's a bit of a standoff of spears there.
Yeah.
But overall, he has got the better spears because he's got a very killy beer spear as well.
Sure.
So yeah, that one's a bit ropey. But yeah, these giants get in my flanks. So I couldn't stop it forever. And I was kind of thinking maybe there's a way I can shenanigan this to get them out of there. But not sure yet.
It's interesting that he's put both of them in the flank. You almost would have been better putting one over in the centre, so that if you faced one, because now you can face them both.
Yeah.
So if he'd have put one of the giants close to the spears, for example, he could have multi-charged it, and with his spears, or multi-charged the unit that he's targeting with them now, but done it from different angles. So potentially, potentially. I find it interesting he's done both, so that'd be cool to hear from him about.
Yeah.
His thought process.
Puts Deceptive Glamour on the Taurosaur, which just makes him hitting on 5s with his normal dinosaur attacks. Obviously, doesn't affect stomp and impact hits, but
sure, yeah.
There's that, and this is just an overview of how it looks at the end of Joe's turn 3. Nice little spread going on, bit of a curve, etc. Yeah, so I go for it. I'm not going to turn down like 6s or 5s on the charge.
Yeah,
that's all I need at that point. So yeah, Taurosaur and Temple Guard. I decided to charge the Luger. They haven't got any armor save at all, whereas the Immortals had like 5 up or 6 up.
Sure, yeah.
After my rending and my AP. Whereas the Luger have just got a flat up 5 up pages. Which are it's kind of the same, I guess. But yeah. Take 1 impact, 1 DT from the ruins that I have to go through. But yeah, I've crisscrossed as well, just for you. Which means I
love a crisscross.
Would overrun into the Immortals with Taurosaur. There's a number of ways I could have done this, and I did think about it for a little while, but not that long, because I knew that the battle was going quite slowly. And if I'd had more time in the battle, I think I would have thought about this for longer. And I don't know if I made the right decision to crisscross.
Yeah, the only thing
I think maybe I could have. I had to maximize models, obviously. Yeah. So a lot of the Temple Guard have to be in. But would I have been better to get the Temple Guard to do the overrun into the Immortals?
I think so. My thought is, I think so because potentially you're in their flank. Because if you are where if you basically swap positions, I'm not sure whether you can. I don't know what the angles are, obviously, but
no, you're right.
If you swap positions. Currently, the Taurosaur right now is going into your front.
Into its I didn't even measure that. I did go into the front, yeah.
But if you're Temple Guard that wide, you would. For me, it looks like you'd be going into his flank.
Ah, that's a massive missed opportunity.
And your Taurosaur is over by the right hand side.
Yeah, which is fine. Yeah,
out the way, I guess, and then your Temple Guard are looking in to the left and going and laughing.
Oh man, that's amazing. I hadn't even seen it like that. But yeah.
Is that? I don't know the angles. It could be that if you put your Taurosaur on the right, that pushes you over enough to be in the centre because it looks like you're an extra person over. But I don't know. Potential.
No,
but again, if you're rushing,
I didn't even see it. But yeah, I was definitely trying to pick up the pace at this point and didn't think about it for long.
Yeah.
And I know you love a crisscross.
So. I'd be tempted to forget about the flank just for that.
Yeah. Rampedons are moving up. Now looking at a flank charge on the Flintlocks in turn 4.
Yep. That's cool.
I've basically moved so that the charge is unfailable. Really. I'm Forest Strider, so I don't care about Forest.
Yeah.
Stygosaur is now hiding and hoping to get a healing word here or there.
Yep.
Healing waters, not healing word. That's D&D. And yeah, this core Saurian as well is just biding its time still until after the Rampedons have charged in.
Are they block-loaded on the right?
Yeah. That's why the Rampedons are going mental on them.
Yeah.
I tried a bit of shenanigans here to try and get out of one of the Giants' line of sight. Couldn't do it. Even if I marched 8 inches forwards, I was still just in line of sight. couldn't work out how to avoid both giants, so I just turned. And I know it's not. And I did move the Saurian that you can see on the right sideways 2 inches to make the overrun a bit harder.
Yeah.
Because I can see that coming too, obviously. Yeah, maybe in hindsight. Yeah, I won't say that yet. But you can see what's coming. Healing waters on the Ramphadons, because it can be measured from the water, which gets a wound on the Stygia back, which is great. So the Stygia is now on 1 wound from 4 down to 1.
Be back.
2. He's taken 2.
Yeah,
actually.
be back fighting
under
soon.
his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I get Word of Iron boosted on the Temple Guard.
Nice.
They are laughing. They love that. I'm a 1-up armor save, and he's got 81 or 2 on the Beluga. Not going to hurt me. And I do take 3 wounds on the Temple Guard. I didn't stick with this move before you panic, or tell me whether that was a good move or a bad move. I had a limited amount of room to maneuver because obviously, I can't do a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the Taurosaur overrunning, which it did. Didn't even consider that the Taurosaur might have been in the Immortals flank. I just literally moved it straight forward.
Yeah, it looks like the Taurosaur isn't actually because
I think
But
because
he's only quite small. But the Temple Guard being like that,
it
might have been.
Definitely, no, that would have been amazing if the Temple Guard had been in the Immortals flank and facing left. Absolutely amazing.
You might have had to have overrun with the Taurosaur to allow it, but you would have done.
That's fine. That's not a problem. The Ramphadons have got the flintlocks covered. So and
he goes at the Taurosaur goes after the flame cannon, then so that's.
Well, exactly, yeah. Because the Taurosaur can take flame thrower all day.
Yeah, man.
So I don't stick with that. I actually overrun with the Temple Guard because I know the Ramphadons have got the flintlocks, and I don't really want the Temple Guard being charged by the flintlocks in the front, just to save them, etc. I'd rather keep more Temple Guard alive and give myself options. Over here, he charges his giant, and of course, always going to happen.
Yeah, man.
And he declares this double charge with the chariots and the spears. I'm really hoping that they both fail. I mean, one of them needs I think the chariot needed a 7 and the spears need an 8. So, maybe if we get lucky.
Sure.
Opposite happens and he gets the spears in with the longer charge and the chariot flumps. Barely rolled anything. I think it was 1-1-2. Forward, but the chariot couldn't see the Taurosaur, so it couldn't have charged into the.
Yeah.
That's not going to go well. One salamander's chilling out in the ruins. He's not dead. And over here, so he just moves his flintlocks so that my Ramphadons. I still had a flank in there actually. I think maybe he couldn't. Probably could have done something different, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've still got a flank with the Ramphadons.
Interesting.
Here's a little look at this. His magic gets Deceptive Glamour again, which I don't think was the extra spell for the Lamassu charge. I think chose. I don't think Deceptive Glamour was the extra one. But I can't remember what else he was
Word of
doing.
Iron off as well.
A Word of Iron is another Lamassu one, which he gets on the Immortals.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean I'm AP3, but they're now 2-up armor. So.
I suppose the good thing in that previous one is that they've not got many Immortals fighting. It's like 2 Immortals.
Exactly, yeah. So, whereas I've got my full strength.
Yeah, so that's really good.
Yeah, exactly. Which is I think that's probably why I went with the Taurosaur on that side, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because I thought the Taurosaur has a good chance of sucking up the attacks from the Immortals, which were only strength 4. Wounding on 6s, the Immortals, you see.
Yeah.
But I figured the Taurosaur could hold the Immortals until the Temple Guard had turned around.
Oh, definitely.
Whereas the Immortals would have been attacking the Temple Guard before the Temple Guard struck.
Yeah.
Which is a bit scary.
It's not a bad move. It's not a bad move at all to crisscross them to that. It might have been that the angle wasn't there, but if it was, I would have been. I think I would have been.
Oh yeah,
to that.
Actually, that's a fair point. If the Temple Guard were in the flank, it doesn't matter how many Immortals are attacking me because there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
The shooters do 1 wound to the Ramphadons. 5 up. Still lost 2 wounds, but hey. And the flame cannon shoots 3 wounds off of the Temple Guard. I did have a 1-up armor save, but still gets 3 through, which is
fair
fine.
play. Yeah.
Over here, glued up shed ton of Saurian warriors. I am attacking first, which means I rage him up a bit, which helps him. Oh no! In fact, I think we were at the same time. So forget that. We were at the same time because he was 4 on the charge and I was 4.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was the same time. But either way, my remaining guys just popped 2 wounds on him. But yeah, it doesn't go well because one of them overruns into this spear flank.
Good.
Despite the fact I moved sideways, and 2 core Saurian blocks deleted in 1 turn there. So that wasn't really. I think I could have done better that flank, really. Giving all of that up in one go.
Yeah, he hasn't got a spoil though.
No, he's had to leave the spoil behind because his shackled slaves are definitely not scoring.
Yeah.
So by doing that, I was thinking to myself, okay, he hasn't got an objective still.
Yeah, like points and stuff and whatever. But you kind of get the impression if the giant went into his flank anyway, the giant could have taken him on the flank.
Yeah.
Regardless, he would have only had to do 6 wounds in total. You kind of get the impression that he could have just sat his spears on the objective.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. Maybe.
Anyway.
The Immortals have picked up the other objective, despite the fact they're engaged with the Taurosaur. I had to look up whether you could still pick it up if you're in combat, but you can.
If it's on you,
in this combat, he does 2 wounds to my Taurosaur, which is actually quite good. Wounding on 6s with only like 6 attacks with spears.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's AP 3, maybe 4.
Sure.
So my Taurosaur actually hasn't got a save. So if you maybe a 6-up save, something like that. Because he's strength 4, AP 1 normally, and then I've charged him. So yeah, he's got AP 3. Which is actually quite scary.
You only did 1 to him.
But yeah, I did a few. No, I think he started with about. I think it looks like he's got some in his 4th rank, but that's actually a standard bearer that looks like another model.
Okay.
So I did a couple.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all right, but I stick, which is the main thing. Over here, I double charge the flintlock axes. I actually get the salamander in as well. Because I want to stop him reforming if my Ramphadons actually fail to kill them on one go.
Yeah.
This is my turn 4 now. What was annoying, which I do have a picture of it in a minute, it's chameleons just go to watch, is that I've got a better picture of it in a minute, but I'll say it now. The salamander took 2 wounds from DT on the ruins on the way in, which means he's actually a little bit vulnerable to just getting poked by one of the flintlock guys.
Yeah.
Because they're still strength 5, they can still actually hurt the salamander, even to the flank.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I cast Awaken the Beast to get resilience on my Ramphadons. Or maybe strength. Might be strength. No, I think I got strength, actually, to make them wounding on 3s instead of 4s. Because he's res 4 and he's strength 4.
Yeah.
Just to make doubly sure, really. And I get Healing Waters to revive a wound on the Taurosaur, and Word of Iron to make me 1-up armor save to begin with. So
very nice.
1-up goes to 4-up now, which is nice.
Well, it'd be 3-up now, won't it? Because he's not still AP 2. Because you haven't charged him.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, I may have done that wrong then. So I probably continued thinking they were AP 3.
Oh, right.
So there you go. Oops. And this is how it looks on this side. The Stidge is now there to support in that. I really am bullying that flintlock unit, but I've got a spoil over there, so I want the spoil, you know? And the left spoil is there, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And the Temple Guard have now obviously turned round to get a rear charge in the Immortals. I didn't want to waste their time going for the Flamethrower.
Absolutely.
It's not worth the points. I need that spoil off the Immortals.
Yeah.
And they've got it for the minute. Massively destroy a lot of flintlocks. He doesn't manage to poke the
that's good.
The salamander, which is great. But annoyingly, he is steadfast and he holds.
Yeah.
So,
but that's all right. You'll
that's exactly fine. This is my turn 4, so I've got a turn 5 to move on to the objective, and turn 6 to claim it. So we're all good over there. Over here, charges into the spears, into the Taurosaur. that's a bit of an issue because now I've got to kill a fair amount in order to keep combat res steady.
Sure.
And yeah, the giants are just moving around to see if they can go after my right hand side and help out. He couldn't see the rear of the Taurosaur with either giant, which is a bonus because the giant in the rear as well would have probably been good night.
Yeah.
And the chariot just moves to look at the temple guard as well. Although obviously I know I'm going to charge the immortals, even if a flank charge from the chariot is a possibility. Over here, don't know why that picture. Does that tell us anything new? Probably not. Oh, he blobs.
Yeah.
No, the blobs on the stitch is normal.
Any spell on the flintlocks?
Yeah. Oh no, that's alchemical fire, I think, which was no use. No, not sure what that shows.
Okay.
Gets another deceptive glamour on the Taurosaur. So limiting his normal attack, basically.
You're not stubborn with the Taurosaur, are you?
No, I'm not. But Joe thought I was.
Okay.
But as it happens, I was rolling really low on my discipline. So. Yeah.
Well, I just didn't know.
Yeah, no. Joe said he said to me, "You're stubborn. You're stubborn on your Taurosaur," and I said, "Oh, I'll just double check it." And Joe said, "No, you are." And I was like, "Okay, well, I didn't have time. We were running out of time, so I didn't check it. I rolled my discipline anyway, being unsure, and I rolled low on the previous turn. Still got to roll it. Still got to roll it again this time.
That's it. Yeah.
Gets Word of Iron on them, which I kind of let through because I figure I'm just going to do it eventually, even if it takes a little longer. And this is his flame cannon into the flank of my temple guard. So the D6 does 6, and then the other D3, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5.
Nice.
That's a maxed out flame cannon.
Very basically. Nice.
But thanks to a bit of good armor save rolling, and he's wounding on 3s because he's in short range.
Yeah.
I in the memory, I thought I had Word of Iron on at this point, but it doesn't look like I did. So yeah, because I got Word of Iron on the Taurosaur. Actually, I did save rather well.
Really good, yeah.
But of course, my Taurosaur is still giving them the 5 up ages.
Sure.
The range, because my Taurosaur's right there fighting the immortals. He doesn't lose that just because he's in combat. So yeah, that also did help. But yeah, that's a crazy flame cannon, maxing out the little bugger. Here we go. Is this? Yeah, in combat, he only does 1 wound to me. Only sticks me with 1 spear.
Yeah, nice.
And I stomp and do a few wounds back, and it means that I can hold with the Taurosaur, which is obviously massive because of the temple guard now charging the rear. But yeah, I wasn't 100% sure that I was stubborn, so I was making sure that I rolled low.
Yeah, it looks like you did 7 to his 1.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So with a flank, 3 ranks, 2 standards, and a BSB, I think he still wins. But I'm re-rolling cold-blooded 8.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember rolling low because I didn't have time to look up whether my Taurosaur was stubborn or not.
Yeah.
But I wasn't certain that I was. So
great.
When I was rolling low, I was like, yeah, I'm right.
No, that's great. Good work.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what cold-blooded can do. That's how powerful it is. You know, all you need to do is roll 2 relatively low ones, and you're good.
Yeah, man.
This is fine. Killed the flintlocks and run them down. Actually, I had to run them down, which was annoying. There was 1 left, but that's fine.
It gets you away from the flame cannon.
Exactly. Yeah, Ramphanons did the job.
Ramphanons
still alive. Yeah, Ramphanons, baby.
How many points are the flintlocks? About 300.
Oh, flintlocks. Let me see. I don't know. Is that the right battle?
I'm gonna say 320. Based on completely nothing.
More than that. They are 431.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So
that's
more than they're worth. That's more than they're worth. They're still up by a decent amount. No, they did give their points away last time. But no, they were still up because of the giant.
Anyway. Yeah, we've given them giant. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. So in my turn 5, I move on to this objective. It's behind them at the minute, but I've got it. No, I haven't got it. I've moved on to it in my turn 5.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know I will get it because there's
Sure.
not a lot that can take it off at this point or stop me getting it in my turn 6.
Yeah. And just
yeah,
keeping everything else safe.
My
right?
army's just watching, basically.
Yeah.
I'm watching this. I'm like, Taurosaur, hi, Temple Guard, hey, yeah.
Good
Need
luck.
help over there.
Good luck.
Exactly, yeah.
What's has the Coatl taken some wounds?
Might have misfired. Miscast?
Misfired. Throwing his rock. Okay.
No, I don't think I did.
What's the 2 wounds behind him then? Or are they the incendiary markers?
No, there is one incendiary marker on the left side of it. What did 2 wounds to the Taurus? The Quattle.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm derailing you. Carry on.
Yeah, genuinely don't know. But yeah, there are definitely 2 wound markers of mine there. Right, so yeah, I buff the Frigg out of my units. 1 up on the Word of Iron on the Taurosaur again. Awaken the Beast for extra strength on the Temple Guard, so that I'm... no, it wouldn't have been strength. I'm already windy on 2s. It would have been resilience. Yeah. And Healing Waters goes off to revive the Taurosaur.
What did he stop?
I don't know. I know Joe didn't have great dice on that magic phase in particular. He may have even failed to cast with all his dice, failed to dispel with all his dice on the last one.
Fair play.
So yeah, I will acknowledge that Joe didn't have great dice at this point, which was why I got 3.
Mate, 3 spells in this. That's what you're doing, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still like I'm not worried about the Quattle being taken 2 wounds. I'm healing the Taurosaur, so yeah, I'm not sure the Quattle did get wounded. Who knows? Because I mean, 1 more wound on the Quattle, he's taken 3, and it's half points on like 600 point worth Quattle. So well, he's actually 900 points before. Anyway, yes. So Temple Guard easily see off the Immortals with all those buffs, etc. Overrun into the spears to try and take them out.
Yep.
I did consider not overrunning to the spears and facing the chariot, but I went with overrunning, basically.
Yeah, I think so.
It may have been that I didn't kill the Immortals to a man, so I wanted to overrun to stop the Immortals getting away, and I did indeed catch them. I think the Immortals at this point, Joe was like just rolling 1s and 2s on his flea.
Sure.
So I think I easily caught them. But yeah, so I was a bit concerned about that chariot in the flank, because I mean, I haven't got many Temple Guard left, only 14, so there's that. The giant moves forward. It may have even failed to charge. Can't remember. No, it looks like he's moved forward in his turn 6. No, it must have failed a charge. A really long charge. It failed a long charge because this is Joe's 6 now.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, and the chariot comes into my flank, like so. Must have taken a wound to a Quicksilver earlier on or something or other. Or maybe that's a wound on the DT, actually, because there's actually a wall underneath that lot. So he gets Word of Iron on the spears, which is a bit annoying. Couldn't stop that. And he puts Alchemical Fire on the Taurosaur, which is concerning because he has got flaming banner on those spears. So he's now wounding him on 6s, but re-rolling. And this is the damage of the... Those wounds on the Quattle are really confusing.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because they're moving as well, which doesn't make it any easier to decide what they're about. Unless they are the blobs. But they're definitely my token. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so he does a couple of wounds to the Taurosaur, and the Temple Guard do a few to the spears as well.
Yeah.
The Chariot does a couple, kills like 5 or something like that. But I do stick still, which is awesome.
Yeah, man.
Taurosaur just wasn't prepared to move, basically. he dug in and he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am a bit concerned about the lack of Temple Guard remaining.
Yeah, man. One more turn.
That's a bit of an issue. 1 more turn to go. And I have got a Spoil of War there, which the spears would take off them if the Temple Guard died.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit ropey going into turn 6, I can tell you that much. And the last picture, because there is nothing else going on except this combat now. You might notice I have one temple guard
Oh my
standing
goodness!
next to a quattle.
Awesome.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, I do lose half points on the Taurosaur, but man, there was a lot of pressure on those final discipline checks on the Taurosaur because we had quite a crowd. We'd gone over by about 10 minutes. Mikey was desperately wanting the result to come in, and everyone was watching those final
Yeah,
bodyguard and
yeah.
discipline checks on the Taurosaur. Whew, they both stick. I don't think they would have done if it had gone into turn 7. But man, that
Hey.
Temple Guard champion is holding on to that spoil.
Good
I
man.
win the objective
Just going,
instead of
no,
just drawing it.
no. You know when you like, have something.
It's mine.
No,
It's mine.
it's just taller, right? So he's
Yeah.
like, no, you can't have it.
He's got it on the top of his helmet. Or Cobalt Club, whatever it is, yeah. Yeah, and man, did the Taurosaur just dig in there. Because it should have gone down to some pointy sticks or failing a discipline check. So I think I must have been... I was on 4s and 3s reroll.
Grinding power, man.
So yeah. I mean, but Joe played it well to get Word of Iron on those spheres, because even, my AP3 wasn't getting through a 1-up armor save unit. Yeah. So, and the Deceptive Glamour was really helping on the Taurosaur, because his normal dino attacks were hitting on 5s.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
If my dino can't hit, then he can't wound on 2s. Simple as that. So hitting on 5s is a really good way to go. So Joe made some really good choices with his magic. I think he kind of abandoned the objective a bit because the Flintlocks really didn't stand a chance of holding off the rest of my army. Because I've literally just got Taurosaur and Temple Guard versus most of his army.
Yeah.
And then the rest of my army, it's 1 unit of Flintlocks and a Bolt Thrower. So it took me flipping ages to kill them 2 off.
Yeah, man.
While my Temple Guard and Taurosaur hold up the rest. But anyway, 15-5. Yay!
Here we go. Winner.
With the objective. I did kind of rob Joe a bit, I think. And I was very upset about my previous battle where the Bruiser drew the objective on 1 wound left. I've basically just done the same to Joe with my Temple Guard as the last remaining wound.
Oh, what difference?
Yeah, but I was feeling a lot happier about this time than when it went against me.
Of course.
But I've got to acknowledge that it's a bit two-faced that I've just complained about it happening to me and now I've done it exactly the other way.
You enjoy it when it goes for you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, karma works out in my favour, but Joe was on the receiving end. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
There you go. But no, really good battle. We were over by a little bit, so thanks to Mikey for being patient with us, getting the result in. But yeah, another really stressful one that goes right to the wire.
Yeah, so, man.
There you go. Cool. Does put me on 21 points after 2, which is great.
Yep.
Really happy with that. 1 win. And going to round 3.
Yeah, sweet. Like, share, subscribe, everybody. Do all that. Facebook and Twitter. Let's say we run Twitter polls and stuff for choosing armies and things and what you want to see as well. We'll certainly be doing that in the new year. So,
probably sooner, to be fair.
Yeah. And keep in touch with all your comments and all that stuff. It's been really cool. As always, you're such a good crowd anyway. So keep it up, guys. Keep it up, and we will.
Absolutely. Cool. We'll see you for Lucky Sixes round 2.
Yes, very excited. See you later.